Good, Tom. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So excited to have you here. I want to rewind the clock back, all the way back to when you first started Cyera. What was the inspiration and why did you pick data security as a problem?
You're taking me a long time back in history, but I think the first experience was Tamar and mine. We had our own experience building a very sensitive business in the cloud, realizing that the traditional approach to data security is not going to cut it. We used to put data in a vault. We used to detach it from the internet in order to protect it. But then we met the market. We met the practitioners, the CISOs and their teams, and they really highlighted the dire challenges they had around visibility to data. And all of this is happening at a time where every regulator on the planet is telling me I need to have better control over data than ever before. And if, God forbid, I have a breach, the data taken is going to be used as the scorecard against me of how many points the attacker scored and how many points am I in for. So that was the pain we heard in the market. It was a pain we felt ourselves, and that was what launched Cyera.
That's awesome. That's great. And that's what we keep hearing from your customers as well, right? That, ROI, really quick time to value, and the comprehensiveness of the platform. I'm curious though, where does that customer obsession come from?
I think it comes first of all out of respect. Most of the CISOs we engage with, they've been doing security for 25 years within the enterprise space, some of them more than that. And I think that in order to build a great enterprise software business, you have to really put a lot of faith and a lot of trust in your customers to be your partners along that journey, guide you, mentor you, and coach you on where the value is and how to make the value consumable for big enterprises. I think that over the years, that obsession has reinforced itself because we saw that it led us to good things, and we doubled down on it even more on how important the customers are in shaping the company and shaping the company's offering.
That customer love is absolutely transparent from all our surveys and NPS work and everything. But let's go back and talk about the space. A lot of tools claim they do data security, one way or the other. How do you stand out from the crowd?
Yeah. So I think the fundamental things we did that helped us stand out early days when the platform wasn't as broad as it is today, we put a lot of emphasis on the time to value. And the ease of deployment and operationalization of the platform. And the two things that really unlocked that for us were the agentless approach and the AI-based classification, which essentially means that classification is now Cyera's problem and not the customer's problem as it was traditionally.
Maybe a good segue to the platform itself. You obviously have built a unified data platform now. You've just announced an acquisition of Trail Security. Why Trail and why data loss prevention DLP?
So DSPM, our core product, is an amazing product. The time to value, as you said, is very short. The ROI is easy to quantify, easy to measure, and very tangible. And customers love that product. The only problem with DSPM is that it doesn't solve the entire data security challenge. And I think that one of the aspects that we're focusing on today is consolidation. How can we leverage the amazing funding, the amazing resources that have been put in our hands by yourself in order to bring these 20 and 30 products together into one unified data security platform that can not only be the best at showing the customers where their sensitive data is, but help them drive the entire data security maturity curve and really be able to protect data end-to-end across the enterprise with all of the complexities and intricacies that entails.
Yeah, totally. And I'm super excited to be part of this mission. I have to touch upon AI. It's the hot topic now, or generative AI in general. How does Cyera help an enterprise adopt Gen AI tools and help them future-proof their own platform for the next 10, 20 years of AI?
So AI, very simply put, runs on two things. It runs on GPUs, and NVIDIA is doing very well due to that. And it runs on data. Yeah. And when we look at data, data has been an issue that was never treated as a first-class issue, a first-class citizen in the enterprise. Being able to inventory, govern, control, and protect data is a huge enabler for AI adoption. When we look at homegrown AI, LLMs that have been trained and have been built within these big enterprises that have huge amounts of sensitive information that is proprietary to them and to a degree, is their advantage in the market today. There's a lot of challenges around governing access to that. A lot of those use cases are core to what we're doing, and especially what we're doing with Trail now. Because Trail is not only extends our capabilities from being able to govern the data to being able to actually prevent access to the data in certain mechanisms inside and outside of the enterprise.
Shifting gear a little bit again, you've obviously have achieved amazing milestones from both revenue and valuation perspective, but what do you want Cyera to be like in 10 years?
So I think that if we allow ourselves to elevate from the cynical layer where we often talk about the world, I think that the mission behind Cyera is a mission that is not only important to enterprises, it's important to society. Data is fundamentally one of the most precious assets we all have as individuals. And the ability to protect that data while it's being used by many organizations that we have to interact with. We don't really have a choice. Our information has to be shared with these organizations, and knowing that that information is being treated with the level of defense that we would hope, that's a society-wide change that needs to happen. And I think that Cyera is enabling that change and helping create a world where digital trust is in a much better place than it is today.
That's great. You and Tamar obviously have, hyperscaled Cyera, both from a revenue perspective, but also from a hiring perspective. How do you scale so fast without the culture, break down?
I think culture can be contagious. Right? Cyera is an intense company. It's an intense company to work for, and that intensity also makes it contagious for people that join. It's a place where you get embedded into the culture very quickly. I think that people love it. People love feeling like they're putting in their best foot, but it's also happening, and it's happening in a big way.
That's awesome. Super, super exciting. I want to end on a note on sort of why Sapphire? Why did you decide to partner with us?
I think the relationship that was built over the last year, a lot of it with you showing up and being present. Sapphire gets enterprise software. For us on this journey, we want partners that will see what can be done here, that we have the ability to really change something about society and change something about the world. That was the driver for me.
Totally. Like you said, the mission is big and there's so much ahead of us. But congrats on the 300 million Series D, and thanks for spending time today.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Casper.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.